All right, so Greg had a couple of good questions. Um, and Mahu, we will talk about Amazon merch. I love merch and print on demand, and I do have another Facebook group that we talk about that a lot. We do webinars almost every day about print on demand and merch. And there's definitely more to print on demand and a lot more money to be made than just with merch by Amazon. And we'll get to that in a few minutes. So Greg's question for the replay was, do you know if TA scans for suspended listings? This feature was recently added to the Scan Power iPhone app, and I have found some good items manually scanning that otherwise would not have been shown before. I don't know about a new feature, but I do know that a feature that it's had all along is to force the view of listings, which you can do with just you can do yourself with just a simple adding a simple tag to Scan Power, which I can post to the Facebook later. I mean, to your Amazon, any listing, and you say suspended listings, but what I think, Greg, you might be talking about is listings that are possibly sold out, by everybody, not available. So what happens in that case is Amazon is suppressing displaying those in the normal search. So you can force that with Scan Power, which I've done lots of times. I could search for it in other apps and it doesn't come up. But if I use Scan Power, it'll come up and I can click through to Amazon. It's going to show it. So there is a so is that exactly what you're talking about? Check restricted in the iPhone settings. That's new. Okay, so you're okay. So the feature was recently. So you said suspended listings. Do you mean restricted? Because that button will, what it does is it connects to your Seller Central. So, okay. So that's completely different. It's called check restricted. So what that does is when you click that, all it does is log into your Seller, it connects to your Seller Central account to see if your account, the account you're logged in with, is restricted from selling it. So if you're not approved in, grocery or beauty, for example, all those items would be marked as restricted. Or if you're not approved for a specific brand, any fit like Nike, for example, all those items would show as restricted. But a regular scanning tool, doesn't matter who makes it, is not going to be able to show you that information unless you're using the Amazon Seller app, because everybody is restricted for different things. It's according to your account. What I'm restricted in is a lot less than what you're restricted in, because my account's from 2012, before we created our account. I started selling on Amazon in August of 2012. So what happened there was of course no brand restrictions, which is very new. There was also very little category restrictions. Grocery and health and beauty weren't even restricted had never had a restriction at that point. So if I had ever sold, or anybody who had an account at the time had ever sold one single item in that category, they were grandfathered in. Same with Nike and Adidas and the hundreds of brand restrictions there are now. The way, and things like Lego. So if you had ever sold that, or if you had what they call a history of selling it, then you were allowed to continue to sell it. So Nike, for example, it's not possible to get approved. They have a very tight list of the brands that are the companies that they allow to sell their products, and it's part of their licensing agreement with their authorized resellers that they're not allowed to sell on platforms like eBay or Amazon. So there's no authorized way to sell on Amazon for Nike. But if you had a history of selling there, when they put that restriction up, you weren't restricted. And so that's how you see all the people selling Nike. That's the way they're continuing to sell it. But if you have a newer account that you can't sell it, then there is absolutely no hope to legitimately be allowed to sell it. So with all that in mind, you want to know if tactical arbitrage scans for those kind of listings. Now, there's a couple things. If you know the brands, you can add brands into tactical arbitrage. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. There's also a tool. I don't have the link. I'm not an affiliate for them or anything, but there is a great Chrome extension which will connect to your Amazon account, and it's called Can I Sell It? Let me see if I have a link for that. And I know it was sold out for a while. No, I believe it is for sale. Okay, so here is the link. I will post it into the chat. And Valerie, we should probably save this link as to add to the site for suggested software. And we'll add that into the mastermind. And this is a tool. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and I'll show this to you. It's a Chrome extension. It's called Can I Sell It? And what it does is it will check against your own Amazon brand restrictions. It's customized to your selling account, so it's based on live data. So there's not a lot of, and you can do this yourself. You cut and paste it, you copy it. So it's $49, $50 a year, basically, and I can load I think it's just.
Hi guys, Matt Colvin with Simple On.
And as you can see, it's from Matt Colvin. He's somebody that I've dealt with and I trust, and it's a great tool, and I've really never heard of any problems with this. It's a very simple tool. I just wanted to jump ahead and show you. Now this is the number one game on Amazon for years, and as you can see when you run it, it pops up right on the Amazon page. So when you click through from Tactical Arbitrage to the Amazon page, it's going to it'll have this on every Amazon page. So you can see this is something you may be able to sell, but since there's variations, it's going to show you there's multiple ones. But you can click through and then select whichever one you want, and then it's going to tell you, you'll be able to check to see if you can sell it. As soon as you select it, it will. So here's another example. Showing you, yes, you can sell this one. So a few different variations. Of course, if it's in red, that means you cannot sell it. It makes things a lot easier. Now, if we want to talk about, do we want tactical arbitrage to be checking every single item, against your account? Well, that's something that's going to be extremely hard to do, and it's really going to slow you down. Having to connect to Amazon and then link that to your own personal account, every single item it checks. So not a great idea. The best idea is going into tactical arbitrage, and I'll share my screen and I will show you. And we are working, and I'm hoping that Alex may, in the recent future, have some kind of an option that we'll be able to import a list. It won't be perfect because, of course, it's based on your information. But if you've seen our Step Ahead tool can now import discounts, we're hoping that at some point we'll be able to have something to import your a list of restricted items. And then we would be able to take our own list, which is quite extensive, and then make that available to people. There is the, keeps moving everything around in here. So it's not on this page anymore. It's the, no, it should be, it really should be in the searching page. So am I missing out on it here? Oh, here it is. So add brands to exclude is right here. So those are test accounts, so we don't have a lot going on in here, as you can see. But you can add any brand that you don't want to see in here anymore. So what I suggest is that when you get a brand that you see is restricted, everything that you get from there is restricted. Whether it's, Nike or Adidas or Louis Vuitton or, anything else on the and if you guys aren't familiar with our restricted list, it's very, we have spent a lot of time. Valerie spends a ton of time working on this, and I'm not logged into my own site. But once you log into the mastermind site, just do it one more time. So if you go up to Mastermind Basic, once you're logged in, and then Restricted Brands and Products, it's going to take you to this page, and it's very extensive. We probably worked on this page, I would say, Valerie, more than anything else on the site. We just put a ton of time into this. So you can see all the restricted brands that we have. We have them sorted by categories at some point. So these are all the clothing brands that we know of that are restricted for most people. So you could take these and cut and paste them and put them into that list. But what I would do is, as you find brands that you're restricted in, add it to that list. And then when you do that, you're never going to see that brand come up again. As long as it's restricted by the brand. When you create a listing, you enter what brand it is. So when you enter that, it's going to block anything matching. So if somebody put Nike shoes, for example, for the brand when they created the product, well, when you put a Nike, it's not the same brand, so it's not going to block that. But for anybody that has the matching information, of course, it's going to be blocked. Now, if we go over to our View Data screen, let's move this around a little bit. Do I have the brands? Okay, so I don't have the brand turned on right now. Let's turn the brand on. Let's reload the data. Okay, so if you have the brand on under Set Column Visibility, which you can click on that, and then you can select which columns you want in Tactical Arbitrage in your view page. So when you have that on, if you have, under that, you'll see next to the brand, for every single listing that has a brand in Amazon, you can see that there's a button here that says Exclude. If you click this once, it's never going to come up again. It's going to add it to that restricted brand list in your settings. So if you see that you can't sell Easy Bake brand, you hit Exclude, it's going to mark it so you don't ever see it again in a search. But it's still going to be in your results, of course, because you're not deleting everything in your results. But for future searches, once this current search that's running is completed, then it's never going to come up again because it's going to be an excluded brand. If you understand that. So there's not something that excludes every restricted brand because there's no way to possibly do that, but there's a lot of things you can do. And once Alex has an import function, then we're probably going to add an importable list, what we feel that most people are restricted from, into probably our step ahead tool, so we can just do a one-click export to do the same thing. And what I do really recommend you guys do, there is probably a 300-page long document on Amazon outlining every single thing you're not allowed to sell. Brands aren't on there, so don't worry about looking for that. There is no official list of this. These are things that we've come up from our own research and things that we've seen a lot of users report. So one person says they can't sell Coach. Well, that's okay, but if we see it over and over again and we feel that the majority of sellers can't sell that brand, then we're going to add it to this list. So this is what we feel that users for the most part aren't allowed to sell. And this is just one section. There's a very big document even on our page. Nowhere near what Amazon has, but we've tried to condense it and take it to the most popular things. So we don't list everything, and a lot of it's common sense. We've just kind of tried to hit the main ideas of them. Live creatures, anything illegal is not legal to sell. No parts of endangered species, nothing that has ivory. Some people may not know about ivory. And then nothing made with the skin or feathers of any of these animals. But things that have vaccine ingredients, maybe in some kind of something for a pet. But there's also what I want to you guys need to understand is there's a lot of other type things that are in here. So, for example, one good one in here is that, if it's labeled as a tester or if it says not intended for resale, you can't sell it. Not even as used. It's, it's very important.
That's got to get edited.
I don't know. Okay, so
it's all still getting edited, so.
Okay, so I'm not sure why that's going on, but there's a ton of ingredients on this list. As you can see, we're doing a major update to the page, but anything that has any of these ingredients, you can't sell. And there's a lot of these, and all of these brands, these are all electronic brands. These are all the food and beverage brands. Anything that has any of these ingredients, any kind of explosives, even if it's for a toy. So if you have a cap gun, that's an explosive. You can't sell that. I sold cap guns at one point that got on Walgreens a long time ago, right after I first started selling. I sold them out. They sold in a couple days. And months later, I got in trouble for selling that, even though they were already gone, but I hadn't deleted the listings. That's why I'm pretty adamant in a lot of my videos about deleting your listings. Did you know you're not allowed to sell anything with batteries in it? Regular light bulbs you can't sell. I know a lot of people do. Thermometers, that should be non-digital, but no firework. And some of these are kind of self-explanatory, and a lot of them aren't. So we took a lot of stuff out, but there's a ton of stuff that we felt that a lot of people may not know. So each one of these sections has ingredients, no perfume testers or samples. They say that specifically. They also say no testers. So, so as you can see, there's a lot of, ingredients here that you just cannot sell. And I'm sure we'll be getting this page, I guess, updated very, very soon. So you have a lot of options as far as restricted brands. Is there a way to link to this to our TA account and run it at the update all button? So no, you cannot do it that way, but as I may have explained that, but once you have those items that you want to exclude, when it's scanning and Amazon Tactical Arbitrage sees that brand, they're no longer going to, it won't even bring it into your results page. So the stuff in your results page, you still have to deal with, but it won't, in the future, it won't come into your adult results page. Do you have a contact for a wholesaler for groceries? I mean, there's lots of places that you can wholesale groceries. Your best bet, and I believe we made several videos about this. If you want to find a wholesaler for any company, it's wholesaling is one of the easiest things to do. It's what we do, retail and online arbitrage is a lot harder than doing wholesale. So very simply, you need to find your product first for the most part. If you find a good product to sell, the best thing to do is you contact the brand and you ask them for a local distributor in your area. If you're not in the U.S., then find a busy area. Tell them wherever your prep center is. If it's Chicago or New York or New Jersey or wherever it's going to be, wherever you're going to be shipping that product, you tell them, don't say anything about Amazon, any of that, because you're not going to be dealing with them anyway. You're going to just go to their website, find their contact information, customer service. You're not looking for a wholesale information. You're only looking to, make contact with them, explain to them that you're looking for a distributor, for a wholesale distributor for their products, in the state of whatever, or in a zip code. They'll usually get back to you in a couple days. It's just a regular customer service agent, and they usually give you a list of their authorized distributors. So now you don't even need to tell them, hey, I was, trying to open an account with Gerber and they sent me your information. You just send your wholesale information to them, your usually your business information, and often they just want a reseller permit, which is your sales tax ID, which is your permit to collect sales tax for whatever state, and you tell them you want to set up an account. So you can get your business information, they get that, and now you have an account with them, and you have a wholesale place to buy whatever that product was, plus usually they have thousands to tens of thousands of products from all different brands. Most distributors for products and brands are selling, have giant warehouses and they're selling, tons of different brands. So then you can get that information if you're using Tactical Arbitrage, import their list, their spreadsheet, whatever they have in the Tactical Arbitrage, and then, compare that and whittle that list down to a smaller list. So you went from tens of thousands to probably hundreds of products that may be viable for buying for wholesale, and you make your wholesale order, and now you have a wholesale source for not only that brand but lots of other brands. It's really a simple process. I know there's a lot of people out there selling courses. There's courses on everything, from marketing to private label, and wholesale and all that. So, wholesale is probably one of the easiest things, to figure out. Creating, selling private label, there's a lot of steps. You need a lot of coaching on that. But, to do wholesale, I don't see it that complicated. I mean, there's literally nothing more than that. The only thing that gets harder with wholesale is when they don't want to sell to people who are, online sellers, and then you may have to have your own website, or they want to confirm a brick and mortar, which, you just don't worry about it. You move on. It's the same as with restricted brands. There's, tens of thousands of, I would say hundreds of thousands of brands out there that you could sell on Amazon. So when there's hundreds of brands that now you can't sell, it's not as big of a deal as people are trying to make it out to be. Okay, I couldn't sell Lego, but, we may be able to sell Lego, but, I don't care, because when everyone could sell Lego, it still wasn't worth selling. If it's 5 or 10% margins, why are people fighting to be able to sell those products? It's just, most of those products that you're restricted from selling, people weren't selling them before either. And, if you want good margins, then, wholesale has just not been the way to go. I have a partner that I've been working with for years, and he's primarily wholesale, and his margins are 10 to 15%. I mean, I'm not interested in making 10 to 15%. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of time, because there are big lead times bringing, you have to do a lot of research. You have to find those companies, set up your accounts, which takes time, and then figure out what you want to buy. And then you have, they're not sending it like Amazon or Walmart, 2-day shipping. They're going to put that order together, and then they're going to put it on a pallet, and then it's going to be shipped to your location, and then the prep center has to send it to Amazon, and, and so forth. And, it's not as fast as doing online arbitrage or retail arbitrage, where you can buy it and ship it. And, when you decide to buy something, a couple of days later, it can be available on Amazon. Wholesale has a longer lead time. And a lot of times, like better products, especially in toys, you have to be doing pre-sales. So sometimes it's 6 to 9 months that you pay for something before you ever get the product. So there's a lot of, it's a lot more costs, and, you have minimum order quantities, and, there's just a lot of things that go with wholesale that lower your margins and extend the amount of time it's going to take to make your money back. Okay, so I think I answered all those questions. You want to start selling on merch. Okay, so Matu, you want to start selling on Amazon merch. What's the best place to start? Do you have any beginner videos? Okay, so that'll relink you to my group. Hopefully everybody's a member of that group. It's, it's a free group. It's not like a paid, mastermind like this one. We do a lot of webinars. I'm bringing a lot of people. I'm kind of learning along with you. I know the steps, but we just haven't had time to, properly invest into print on demand, just with everything else we have going on as well. So, I've been bringing a lot of experts in, doing webinars. So I'm learning alongside you guys. I know sales and marketing and all that, but, I know that the most important part is not just focusing on merch by Amazon. So my question is, are you approved for merch by Amazon yet? Or do you even have an account? I applied for it and waited for approval. Well, that's great. I would say that everybody, should go and apply for your account. It's free. At one point it was over 6 months. I know right now people are getting them pretty quickly, but it doesn't matter, because there is a ton. There are dozens of print-on-demand sites, just as big as merch, and if not bigger. Merch doesn't even have 1 million designs yet. and it's been well over a year that it's been around. So, there is other sites like Redbubble, which we just did a webinar about a week ago on going through all that. And you can upload that. If you get a design made for Merch by Amazon, you can upload it to Merch by Amazon. If you're not approved for Merch by Amazon, you can upload it to Redbubble. And when you get approved, you can still upload it to Amazon. None of these sites really have anything exclusive. So you can have it on Merch by Amazon, which only does t-shirts. They have 2 styles and several different colors. That's all you can do there. If you upload to Redbubble, I believe you can upload that same one image, and you can have it on 54 different products. So, and there's some, Printly, if you upload to Printly, and they don't have a website, so you kind of have to integrate it into your Shopify store or some other type of integration. But they have over 8,000 different products. You still upload your image one time, and that image is can be sold on 8,000 different products that they have in stock. So, mugs and coffee cups and, beer steins and t-shirts and sweatshirts and jackets and dresses and, everything you can think of. There's lots of different print-on-demand sites that do all different things, but there's dozens of different ones that are quite popular. Some of them have, one of them I think Redbubble has like 4 million designs on there. So, people aren't just going to Amazon. And what you have to think about is wherever they're going, is where, wherever you go to look for that stuff is where you go. So if people are used to going to Amazon to look for shirts, that's where they go. But the guy who, goes to Redbubble to look for their funny or cool t-shirts, that's where they always go there. So if you only have your design on Amazon, then the guy who's going to Redbubble isn't going to see your design. It's not like, somebody's buying a TV or, a computer, and they're looking at, Amazon and Best Buy and Target to get the best deal. With shirts, they're going to be looking for keywords. So somebody's going to search for, a specific keyword. So, those keywords, if it's a cat in space t-shirt somebody wants, then, they're going to be on Redbubble. But if yours isn't on Redbubble, then yours isn't going to get be the one that gets bought. So, it's keywords people are looking for shirts. And no matter what keywords you have, it's probably going to get a result. Even if it doesn't exist, you're still going to have some kind of result, from that. Because people they're gonna show people, similar results. Thanks for waiting for approval, and then we backed up. Miss Redbubble next week. Can I get access to the report? So what FBA prep centers do we recommend? We recommend Prime Zero Prep. I'm not sure if they're open for new sellers or new clients right now, but they are in a tax-free state. So that does save quite a bit, and they're really the best out there. Other than that, I also like Texas Prep Pack and Ship. They do really an amazing job. They're in Texas, obviously, but they're not in it's not a tax-free state. Some products, most grocery products, some clothing products are tax-free, are tax-exempt there. So, that is a plus. Let's see, Redbubble.
All right, welcome everyone.
Oops, I'll post that link into the chat for you guys. If you can't get in with, if you want to get a Prime Zero Prep account set up, I could probably get you in with them. But, you really need to find somebody, you trust, and, somebody could mess up one one box full of stuff and probably get your account shut down if all the labels were wrong, and you send in a couple hundred items with the wrong labels on it. That could be serious. So it has to be something that you really you really have faith in. Also, let's see. Am I missing a? No, I don't think we. Valerie, are you there?
Yeah.
You're muted. Okay. I don't know if we got uploaded the. I see Redbubble, but what about the last one? Did we not upload that, or did that not get uploaded somehow? Or
Which one was Sunfrog? Has Sunfrog been done yet?
that's what I'm asking. I don't see it.
I don't think it's in Zoom because everything in Zoom was uploaded. So.
Okay, so we also did Sunfrog, which is another great one. So if you you don't get a lot in royalties, but if you can get other people promoting it, I forget what it is. It's like 4 or 5% you get in royalties as a creator, but you can get 40-some% as the person who promotes it. So if you're promoting and creating it, you get over 50% for your payout. So that's probably one of the best ones out there. We're going to do one called Gear Bubble next week, and we're moving that one to Wednesdays because I have a prior commitment on Friday nights. And then the week after that, there's another great one, which every print-on-demand site has a different, something different that you can do. So they all have different features. They have different kinds of products available, different features that, make it better than the other one. So I don't remember the name of the site right now, but you can use licensed images. They have licenses with big companies like Disney and Marvel that you can use those, and they provide you with the licensed images, so you can view their sources, and then you can download that image and put it on a shirt, with whatever other images and text or whatever you want to put on it. And then there is a short approval process. They look at it, and if they approve it, then you're able to sell that shirt. But then you'll be able to promote an actual Disney shirt. You'll have Disney or Marvel, or they have a bunch of different brands that they created licensing agreements for you already. So you can create those images, and then you can run Facebook ads and target Disney fans and all kinds of stuff with that. So that's a great one. We're gonna be doing Gear Bubble this coming Wednesday, and we're gonna be doing that site, which the name of the site just eludes me right now, but I'll get that information for you guys, and you'll see the event coming up when we announce that. But that'll be Wednesdays at 8:00. We're trying to do that every week, and then training on some kind of graphic design training every Tuesday. So look for a lot of that coming up. We're trying to get as much training for you guys. And one thing I want to announce we haven't really talked about, but Friday, I believe it's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a great guy that I've worked with before. He does a lot of marketing, and he creates, he helps sell huge sellers, like $5 million a month sellers he's worked with that will that help you optimize your listings, create the best listings. And he's a copywriter, and he works with some huge companies. He's going to be coming on to talk to us about optimizing our listings and what you can do moving forward. I'm really excited about that. What about a replay of Photoshop webinar part 1? I'll see if I have part 2.
Yeah, we have that. I can post. I'm actually in there right now. I'll post it.
Okay.
Post it right now.
Yeah, so we have that one. I had switched computers, and I think we have a couple of webinars that didn't get posted. But I think I have one. The last one we did, I'm not sure. I was sick. Well, I was really sick last week, so we got behind on posting all the replays. But we definitely have those. And if you like those and you like other things, let me know. We'll definitely try and get that information for you. I think Sunfrog may be on this computer. I'll look after the webinar. Okay, so there's your Photoshop part 1. And you definitely want to register when you see those, so you'll get an email to let you know when the next one comes up. But send me or Valerie a message. I'm gonna wrap it up now, but because I have another appointment at about 9 o'clock. So if there's anything you guys need specific training on, I know we have, it's kind of overwhelming. And we do have, for everyone asking about Be Cool, we are going to have a webinar. We're just trying to work out the exact dates, but they want to do something, I think, next week. Schedule's pretty full then, but we're gonna get something. We're gonna have the creators of Be Cool on, so anyone interested in a repricer or any of that, they'll be here live to answer, whatever questions you have about that. And they've just basically redid the whole their whole software, so they're gonna come on and talk about all the new updates and changes and all that. We've been using them for quite a long time, so. That's going to be pretty interesting. And anything else, any other training you want to see, any experts I can bring in to help you guys out, just shoot me or Valerie a message and we'll do our best to get somebody in. Bundles. I'm not a big fan of bundling to creating the, just making that Amazon catalog bigger. We did just have Abby on about, what was it, last week or the week before. We're going to try and work with her to come in again, so in a couple weeks. So, she does an amazing job with bundling, and I'm sure she'll be happy to talk to you guys about bundling. That's why I try and get some guests in here to, cover some of the things that we don't really do in our business. But, she is awesome at bundling, and I think she's also going to cover, creating listings and cross-posting your Amazon products onto other platforms. So that could be a couple great topics for the next time she comes on and coaches you guys in a couple weeks. So we'll see you guys later, and definitely let us know any suggestions you have.